This is your newsroom morning brief for July 24th. I'm Neil Marks. We're glad you could join us. A second local bank is moving to cut ties with candidates affiliated with Azruddin Mohamed's political party, in a clear testimony that banks are not willing to put their businesses and that of other customers at risk by continuing to do business with those linked to Mohamed, who is sanctioned by the United States. This follows revelations by Azruddin's party itself that Demerara Bank is closing the accounts of at least 5 of its candidates. Now, more candidates are expected to receive letters from another bank informing them that their accounts will be closed and services discontinued. Azruddin Mohamed, a prominent businessman turned political leader, was sanctioned by the United States for bribery and corruption. The Office of Foreign Assets Control, OFAC, of the U.S. Department of the Treasury on June 11, 2024, announced the imposition of sanctions against the Mohammed family, specifically targeting Nazar Muhammad, his son Azruddin Mohamed, and their businesses, namely Mohammed's Enterprise, Hades World, and Team Mohammed's Racing. These sanctions were connected to gold smuggling and corruption. Because of these sanctions from the U.S. body, business licenses the Mohammeds had were rescinded and their bank accounts were closed. If an individual is sanctioned by OFAC, local banks face significant operational and legal consequences. Banks must immediately block any assets or property belonging to the sanctioned individual that are within the bank's possession or control, and they must also block transactions involving the sanctioned individual or entity. Citizens who have registered and are awaiting their national ID cards are being urged to uplift their cards, which are sitting at GCOM offices. The national ID card is the primary and preferred method of identification that is used on election day. The presentation of the ID card allows for faster processing. The varying transactions for which ID cards were produced include applications for registration, change of name, and/or correction to particulars on ID cards. GCOM is in possession of ID cards from previous cycles of registration up to and including the claims and objections exercise that was concluded in June 2025. A new panic button system will soon be implemented to help counter domestic violence. Minister of Human Services and Social Security, Dr. Vindhya Prasad, has said using the system, any endangered person will be located immediately and rescued. Once a victim uses the button, authorities will be able to determine the exact geographic location of the individual seeking help. President Irfan Ali recently announced the establishment of the new system. He said it is meant to help domestic violence victims quickly alert security agencies and receive emergency assistance. The president announced the initiative during a PPP manifesto consultation at the Ramada Hotel last week, stating that it was part of the administration's strategy to strengthen protection for women and vulnerable groups. The inaugural event in the Guyana Diaspora Forum series, Building Towards 2050, was held on Monday at the National Press Club in Washington, D.C., bringing together members of the Guyanese diaspora, government officials, development partners, and private sector leaders. The forum served as a platform to strengthen diaspora engagement and encourage direct involvement in Guyana's ongoing transformation. The event highlighted the critical role of strategic partnerships, workforce development, and youth empowerment in shaping Guyana's trajectory over the next 25 years. The Ministry of Health has introduced the human papillomavirus 9 HPV9 vaccine to fight cervical cancer, obtaining 50,000 doses at a lower cost from Merck and Company. Minister of Health Dr. Frank Anthony announced the launch of the vaccine on Wednesday at the recently commissioned Diamond Regional Hospital. Guyana is the first Caribbean country to procure the HPV9 vaccine. Dr. Anthony explained that the average cost of the vaccine in the United States is $369 per dose, but the ministry was able to obtain it for just $15 per dose, saving approximately $17 million. That's because the Pan American Health Organization negotiated a lower price for Guyana with Merck & Company, a global healthcare company focused on researching, development, manufacturing, and marketing a wide range of medicines and vaccines. Minister Anthony explained that the vaccine protects against 9 of the common HPV strains that cause cervical cancer, and is 90% effective. The vaccine that was previously administered was the quadrivalent. The new and enhanced version of the vaccine offers more protection to patients. You can get breaking news and sport at newsroom.gui. I'm Neil Marks. Take care.